Hello guys, welcome to one more problem of System Verilog series. So in this we will be solving one more question on fork join. So let's read the problem statement. So we need to implement the task run parallel, which is named as run parallel tasks using System Verilog fork join constraints. The requirement is we need to create three parallel processes such that the process 1 waits for 10 nanosecond and increments a variable p1 count that might be already given in the code. Process 2 waits for 20 nanosecond and increments to P2 count, and process 3 waits for 30 nanosecond and increments P3 count. And we are also given few more conditions like the task must launch all the three processes in parallel, return immediately after the first process completes, terminate all the remaining processes, increment exit count before exiting. All right, so here the main takeaways from the problem is we are supposed to implement three tasks in such a way that it executes in parallel, and as soon as the first task gets completed, we are supposed to terminate all the three tasks, and we are supposed to increment a variable. So that sounds like a very simple problem, and it's actually a simple problem for a system Verilog interview question series. So let's get started. So firstly, we would be just using the fork join, and here I will be just calling all the tasks. So let's say process one waits for 10 nanosecond and increments p1 count. So here you can just like treat any task. Let's say you do begin and end, and here it just wait for 10 nanosecond, and it just increments the p1 count. Similarly, we need to define three processes. Second is 20, 30, and second task is P2 count, and third task is P3 count. So by doing this, our first condition is satisfied, that is launch all the three processes in parallel and increment all the values of P1, P2, and P3. Now we need to return immediately after the first process completes, which means that we need to use fork join any, because and we need to terminate all the remaining processes. So you need to write here disable fork, because as soon as the first process get completed, then the fork it will come out of this fork join any, and it will just disable all the parallel task that was running previously. And you are also supposed to increment the count value before exiting the code. So you can just increment the count value here or before disable fork as well. All right, so let's try running the code. All right, great. It seems our code is correct, and that's why we are getting the test cases passed. So that's all for the video. Thanks.